Okay, in this video we're going to discuss menus, sections, posts, and categories. Currently there is one menu right here, and there's only one link in the menu. There's a couple options on how you can set this menu up. And then there's also a menu that isn't showing, but there's a top menu that goes up here. When I refer to sections, we're talking about the sections on this front page. So we have the slideshow here. We have the featured stories section, the editor's pick section. If we scroll down, we have the latest headlines. So let's go to the back end of the site. And when I refer to the menu that appears up here, I'm not talking about this top administration bar. You'll see what I mean. We're going to go into this, talk about the sections, posts, and categories first. So let's go to the back end of the site. We'll go ahead and go to posts. We're going to click on a post to edit the post. Once we're inside of a post, on the right side of the page we have the section called categories. Now currently we only have one category in its latest news. And it just so happens on the front page that this category is showing up in the top menu. So if we go back to the back end of the page, we actually have the option to create a new category. So I'm going to create a new category. I'm just going to call it latest news sub. Okay. And I'm going to give it a parent category of latest news. So if I click add new, we'll see that latest news sub appears under latest news. I'm going to create another category, and we'll just say test for now. Okay, I'm not going to give it a parent category, so I'm just going to click add category. So now we have two parent categories and one category under latest news. Now I'm going to update this. Since I have all three of these checked, this post will actually appear in all three of these categories. So if I go to the front end of the site and I'm going to refresh the page, we now have two links up here up top in this menu. We have the latest news, which is a parent, and test, which is a parent. Now if we roll over latest news, we have a child menu, so that latest news sub, which we set under it, appears as well. And if we click these, like the latest news was the default, so if we click that, it's going to show all the posts on the site. If we click on test, it's only going to show the one post because that's the only post we put in this category. Okay, let's go back to the back end of the site. So this is how we can set up new categories, and we can check which categories this post will appear in. Well, if we go over here under post and click categories, we can also set these categories up here as well. And we can also change, edit them, get in there and change the names. We can delete them, we can view them. It'll take us to the actual page, the same page that the link would take us to. And we also have the ability to create a new category here. Now as we look at the front page though, we'll go back to the home page. And we have the posts that appear in the slideshow, in the featured stories, in the editor's picks, and of course the latest headline news. So there's a way we can manage that as well, and it's based off of the categories that we set up. So as you set up categories, what you'll want to do is keep in mind which categories these particular areas will be. So if we go to the back end of the site, and then we go down to this where it's Eris or Aros or however you pronounce that, we click that, then we go up here to the home tab. Then we can see the sections that we have on the front page, like the slideshows here, the featured stories, editor's picks, and latest headlines. Now within these sections we have additional options we can choose from. For instance, in the slideshow, if we only wanted 4 of the posts to appear, we can set that to 4. If we only wanted 3 of them, we could change that. Same with all the other categories. Featured stories, if we want to change this to one post. We click Save Changes. And we go back to the front page. I'm going to refresh this again. And so now we only have the one post appearing in the featured stories here, right? So if we go back to the back end, we click on Home, and then we look over here to featured stories, we only have one. I'm going to set this back to 3, and you can also rename these. So if, for instance, let's do this. Let's change. Let's do this one down here. We got editor's pick here. I'm going to change this to test. And we also have the option of changing the categories that appear, okay, in test. So when you're creating a post, you can set which categories that post goes in, and then from here you can set which of those categories appear on this section or within this section. So if I click this drop down, I can go to test, right? And when I choose test, it's going to only have the posts that are in the category of test, which is going to show up in the test section. And of course I can show how many posts from that category appear there. So let's go ahead and click Save Changes. We'll go back to the front page. Right now we have editor's pick and 3 categories. But now when I refresh the page, now I said 3 categories, it's actually 3 posts in one category. But now we have test, we rename that section, we changed the category to test, so only the post that was in test is showing up in this section now. So I'm going to go back to the back end, and back to the Home tab. I'm going to rename this again. And then if I click this drop down, if I uncheck that, so if no categories are checked, it defaults to all posts. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, so that's how you change the different sort of your different options in these different sections. Now you'll note, let's go back to that front page. You'll note that we have the ability to set up this menu using the categories and posts, but not all of what we put on a site are posts. We also have pages, for instance the Contact Us page, right? So let's see how we can either change this or make a secondary menu appear. Let's go back to the home page, and this time we're going to hover over Appearance, and then we're going to click on Menus. So once we're on this page, we have this right side section, and this is a menu called Navigation. Well, let's go ahead and add an actual page to this navigation. Okay, if I go down here to where it says Pages, we only have one page created on the site, and it's the Contact Us page. So if I check this right here, and then I click Add to Menu, and I look up here, now I have a Contact Us added to this menu. So I can save this menu, and now it's saved. But it still won't show on the site because we haven't set up where it's going to be. Now we have this one menu, which is the main menu here. If we decide to put navigation in the main menu, it will override the post menu that is there. So if you only wanted the post and the category set up through sections and through this area, and you didn't want these latest news and the test, you didn't want any posts to show up here, or you didn't want this to be the default, I should say, then you could set this up, click Save. Now if we go back to the front page and refresh again, now it's replaced the post menu with the Pages menu, okay, with this navigation menu. If we click Contact Us, it takes us to the Contact Us page, all right? So let's go back to the home page. Let's go back to the back end. Now from here, you can actually add posts. If you scroll down, we have the option to add pages, We can add categories, which is where we do set up our posts. So if you wanted the test posts category to add that, if you wanted to add that to the menu, you do have the option to do that there. You can also create custom links. So if you wanted a link to Trout Unlimited or offsite, you can also add that a custom URL here and then give it a name. So I'm gonna give a link or create a menu link called just the home. We had an issue with home, and the reason why we had that issue with home, I'm gonna go ahead and click add, was because home wasn't actually a page, it was a category which I renamed latest news. So if I click and drag home up top, this is how you sort these. Okay, so if I go ahead and click save menu, we go back to the home page and refresh. Okay, so now we have home, which will always take you back to this main page, the contact us, which takes you to the contact us page, and then test, which will take you to a page that will show all the posts that are inside the test category. And we only have one test inside that category right now, which is the we are who we are. Okay, so let's go back to the back end again. So if I take this navigation and remove it from the main menu, I click save, then I go back to the main, the front page, and click anywhere I could have refreshed, but I clicked home to take it back home. Then it puts back the post and category default menu, right? So if I wanted to have that you remain in the main menu section, but I also wanted the navigation menu to appear on the page, I can actually put this in the top menu, and if I click save, I'll show you where that appears. So we'll go back to the home page, and I'm going to click refresh. So now that secondary, the navigation menu appears up here, and then we still have the post, or rather categories menu still here. So that's how you edit the menus and the sections and the post and categories. I know it takes a little thinking and ahead to how you want to organize this, but you do have the options of pages, of posts. Posts are usually used as like latest news, blogs, headline news, that sort of thing, whereas pages are your standard page that you would go to, about us, contact us, various things that you can use that for. Posts would be more related subjects that you could categorize together. All right, thank you very much.